We've already looked at what an early help assessment needs to contain. Once we've completed the assessment, this will give us a clear indication of what is working well for the family and what areas need to be improved. Working with the family, we need to move on to the next step, which is constructing a plan. The plan is produced with the family and it is based on the changes that they want to see. Those changes may come from the family themselves, they may include support from a range of different agencies, or it could just be one particular agency working closely with the family to bring around significant and sustainable change. It's important when we are producing the plan, we discuss how we're going to collect evidence. We require evidence to prove the plan is successful and has made a significant and sustained difference. This evidence is required for quality assurance and audit purposes. One way to ensure we collect high quality evidence is to ensure that our plan contains both outcomes and actions. Sometimes people are a bit unsure about the difference between outcomes and actions, so let's take a look at that right now. An outcome is what we hope to achieve at some time in the future. It may be next week, next month, next year, but at some point in the future, there will be a change, and that is known as an outcome. An action, on the other hand, is the steps needed to ensure that the outcome occurs. So the outcome is something at a point in the future, and an action are the steps to ensure we are able to reach that outcome. Outcomes and actions need to be SMART. SMART is an acronym which stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. If, when we work with the family, we ensure our actions and outcomes are SMART, it will make it a lot easier for us later on to ensure that we have recorded what has happened. Also, as well, from a family perspective, it's a lot easier to work towards a particular outcome if that outcome has been made using the SMART acronym. So, to conclude then, an outcome is where we want to be at some time in the future. Obviously, it wouldn't be fair if we just said to a family, this is where you want to be, over to you, good luck. We need to work with them to ensure that actions can be put in place. The actions are like the steps. These steps will enable the family members to go from where they are now and move forward, taking one step at a time to reach their desired outcome. We're aware that sometimes there are problems along the way. Not everything in life is smooth. Be aware of the fact that actually sometimes the process can be non-linear. What do we mean by non-linear? Imagine that you're on a diet. You've been on this diet for 3 months and it is going really well. You're losing a lot of weight. You feel quite happy and confident. However, you go into the office one day and it's somebody's birthday. They've brought in the most spectacular and scrumptious looking cake. They offer you a slice and initially you refuse. But as the day wears on, you decide that actually you would like a piece of this cake. You have one piece of cake. This in itself does not mean you have failed your diet. It's a temporary blip. These things happen. It only becomes a concern if you have cake every day. It's the same with families. When we have our meetings with them and they feed back on what has worked and what hasn't, sometimes progress won't be quite as clear or quite as fast as we'd hoped. This is part of life and is nothing to be worried about. We continue to work with the family, ensuring that we are working towards their desired outcomes. So we've seen then, we do the assessment to find out what is working well and what isn't. We have then produced a plan with the family, and now we need to review the progress being made. Review meetings take place at least every 8 weeks, and during each review, we collect evidence to see the progress against each of the actions. Review meetings take place until all the outcomes are achieved in a sustainable way. Evidence of progress or lack of progress on each action is recorded, and if any new gaps in services appear, for example, new needs are identified, then we look at creating particular support for the family by maybe bringing in new services to help them. Information collected at the review meeting can be used as valuable evidence, not just around early help, but also around inspections, audits, and impact assessments, for example.